Are we live? I think we're live, people! Hey, everybody, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88 here, and welcome to another edition of the Linux Coffee House. I will get started in just a few minutes, but first, housekeeping. If you enjoy these live streams just as much as I do, then smash that like button, ring-a-ding that notification bell, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Okay. Um, Before we get started, I want to go over the schedule with you guys, just so we're all up to speed on things. Okay. Okay. Let me just go to the schedule. Okay. Okay, so the schedule we have here is as follows. February 7th, 4 p.m. is the next Edo Pro Dual Night Plus Open Chat. And then February 25th, 2024 is the final Edo Pro Dual Night Plus Open Chat for February. As for this month's Linux Live installation, I have not decided when that's going to take place yet, but stay tuned to a future channel update when I will be making that announcement. Other than that, there's nothing else on the schedule. I will give it about 2 minutes and then we will get started. Okay. Let me just get my favorite news site up. There we go. That'll do it. That will do it. We're just about ready to get started, folks. Okay, the 2 minutes has officially expired. I am going to share my screen at this time, and we are going to get started. Okay, so we're just going to share this. There we go. Okay, first article of the day. We're going to be doing this one. All right, let me get this all ready for you all. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay, first article of the Linux Coffee House, KDE Plasma 6.0 getting more fixes and UI refinements ahead of this month's release. KDE Plasma 6.0 is due to be released at the end of this month. KDE Mega Release 6, Release Candidate 2 released this week in in fascinating in facilitating more testing ahead of this big KDE desktop milestone, and there's been no let up in the amount of bug fixes and last minute work being prepped for this milestone. KDE developer Nate Graham is out with his usual weekly development summary to bring attention to all of the KDE development changes. There's been a lot of minute KDE Plasma 6 work, including when dragging a file in the Plasma Wayland session and it passes over another window, you need to stop moving the cursor for a full second before that window will raise itself. Prior to the prior value of a quarter second, improvements to KRunner's search results rankings, the clipboard and keyboard indicator system tray applets now hide themselves completely when there is nothing to show. Various UI tweaks and refinements to further refine KDE Plasma's appearance. It's no longer possible to crash Plasma by giving a virtual desktop an extremely long name. A long string of characters for virtual desktops up to now would crash Plasma's shell. Various fixes for software using fractional scaling factors, a bug in certain GPU configurations where KWin would use 100% of a CPU core has been resolved, improvements to reduce the amount of blocking when browsing network-mounted file systems. The closable window rule now works in the Plasma Wayland session. More details on all of the KDE changes this week via Nate's blog. Okay, so that's one article. Let's go to our second article of the Linux Coffee House. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. We'll do this one. Okay, second article of the Linux Coffee House, Redux OS porting more Linux software over, including Cosmic apps. The Rust-based Redux OS free and open source project has published a new blog outlining some of their recent accomplishments, as well as a look ahead to other technical adventures planned for the year. Redux OS developers have been busy in the new year working on new features, porting more Linux software over to its Rust-focused platform, and other work to make this open source OS, free and open source OS more usable. Redux OS has traditionally relied on a URI URL format for accessing resources, but to ease the porting of Linux software to Redux, they have changed the resource path format to be more Linux compatible with a file-like scheme. The new file-based path format has been started for their kernel and Railblick implementation, as well as the ability to transparent translate between formats. Redux OS has been seeing more work lately on porting additional Linux software to its Rust-based OS editors. Like Nano and Helix are now working on Redux OS, and various other apps are beginning to work. System 76 Cosmic Desktop is also being ported over to Redux OS. Some other work on Redux includes enhancing its build system and speeding things up. Redux OS has also continued seeing work on Raspberry Pi porting, a rework of the PCI driver, relibc as Redox's libc implementation has been converted to new Mailblock implementation and other kernel enhancements. Looking out ahead, Redux is going to be working on its web server use case, addressing USB HID support, performance profiling, more automated testing, and porting of more Linux software. Learn about the latest Redux work via redoxos.org. Okay, that is it for that article. Let's go to the next article, shall we? Okay. Let's see if I can find one here. Here we go. Okay. Okay, our third article of the Linux Coffee House, OBS Studio 30.1 beta released with AV1 for VA API and AV1 for WebRC whip output. Following the release of OBS Studio 30 last November, OBS Studio 30.1 beta was released today as to what will be the next feature release for this free and open source software that is popular with live streamers and other game streaming desktop recording purposes. Most exciting for many of you with OBS Studio 30.1 will be the AV1 acceleration using VA API for a better time handling AV1 on modern Intel Arc graphics and AMD Radeon GPUs under Linux. In addition to AV1 support for VA API, OBS Studio 30.1 is bringing AV1 support for WebRTC whip output too. Also exciting on the Linux side is adding a video capture device with the Pipewire for the source type, for further enhancing the integration around the Pipewire audio video streams management solution for the Linux desktop. OBS Studio 30.1 has also been working on HDR for HEVC over RTMP, reworking the image sideshow source. GPUs, rescaling options for streaming and recording outputs, and various Windows and macOS platform specific additions. Downloads and more details on all the changes to find with OBS Studio 30.1 Beta 1 can be found via the release announcement on GitHub. Okay, that is it for our third article of the Linux Coffee House. Let's move on to article number 4. Okay. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Okay, our fourth article for the Linux Coffee House. Framework 16, new AMD launches and more made for an exciting January. January was a busy month with a number of notable hardware launches, from the Framework 16 laptop to the new AMD Ryzen 8000 G series APUs to the new System 76 Frillo major workstation powered by the Ryzen Threadripper 7000 series. There were 268 original news articles, and another 15 featured Linux hardware reviews and multi-page benchmark articles on Phoronix during the last month. With all of that daily original content, here's a look back at the most popular news and reviews from January. So let's look at this. So right here is here's a bit of summaries for each of them. A 2024 discussion whether to convert the Linux kernel from C to modern C++. Linux 6.8 network optimizations can boost TCP performance for many concurrent connections by 40%. Rust written Linux scheduler showing promising results for gaming performance. Ubuntu looking at discontinuing its source ISOs. Linus Torvalds hits nasty performance regression with early Linux 6.8 code. AMD publishes XDNA Linux driver support for AMD AI Ryzen AI on Linux. 5 minutes of coding yields a 6% boost to Linux I/O performance. Windows NT Sync driver proposed for the Linux kernel, better wine performance. AMD proposes an FPGA subsystem user space interface for Linux. And basically, folks, I could just keep going on, but these are like summaries of a lot of the major stories in January. So if you want to read all this, you can check it out. But this is article number 4 of the Linux Coffee House. Okay. So now for the final and last article of the Linux Coffee House. Final article. Debian 64-bit time T translation underway for addressing Y2038 problem on 32-bit systems. Debian Experimental has begun its package rebuilds for its 64-bit time T transition for ensuring 32-bit architectures running on Debian Trixie will be able to operate past the year 2038. For the year 2038 problem, where the Unix time will no longer fit within a signed 32-bit Integra after January 19th, 2038, Debian developers are working to ensure their next release will be able to run past that point. Their primary focus is on 32-bit ARM, but under 32-bit architectures, but other 32-bit architectures are affected as well. The 64-bit time T transition involves more than 1,200 library packages that may have ABI breakage as a result of changing the data type. Debian and Ubuntu developers Steve Lashnek, or sorry if I butcher your name, calls this the largest cross-archive ABI transition ever for Debian. Those interested in the work being carried out by Debian so their 32-bit software will be able to properly handle the year 2038 can be found via the Debian wiki. Steve Lashnek posted to the Debian Devel announce list today about the ongoing transition that will hopefully see much of the work settled after the weekend. Debian 13 Trixie should be out in 2025, allowing plenty of time for this Y2038 handling to be completed. And with that, folks, that is the final article of the Linux Coffee House. I will give it at least 2 more minutes here, and we will wrap things up here. I appreciate you all so much for watching, so much for coming. If you want to see more live streams just like this, then smash that like button, ring a ding that notification bell, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Once again, there's an Edo Pro Dual Night on February 4th, 4 p.m. Did I get that right? February 4th, 4 p.m.? Let me recheck that one more time, folks. Let me check it one more time. Because I may have gotten the date wrong, even though I said the date earlier. Okay, let me have a look at my calendar here, folks. Did I get that right? No. I got the date wrong. I apologize. It says on my schedule here, the next Edo Pro Duel Night is February 7th, 4 p.m. So February 7th, 4 p.m. And then the final Edo Pro Duel Night is February 25th at 4 p.m. So for those who are coming in late, I'll repeat this one more time. The next Edo Pro Duel Night Plus Open Chat is February 7th, 4 p.m. The final one for February is February 25th at 4 p.m. So there's your schedule, folks, for this month. And like I said, I will have a future channel update detailing the next Linux live installation for this month. So keep a lookout for that. But anyway, folks, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up off out of here. I need to start my day. I appreciate you all so much for watching, so much for coming. And until next time, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88 saying see you later.